What's up, traders? Eric here from MajorLeagueTrading.com. And we got volatility across the board like we talked about yesterday here. We're getting some big moves out of individual names, then giving them back. And then we've got some pretty decent earnings gaps to take a look at here. Microsoft, Google, even potentially Visa, and some kind of oddball names here. But before we do that, I want to recap just kind of the thought process coming into today from yesterday's video, right? So 424.19 for the SPY here. This seems to be the main thing in which everybody's looking for, is just SPY levels in general and kind of, general market, consensus and direction. So with this yesterday, we were looking for this level to get tested. It did get tested today. We managed to pull back and then rally back up and, kind of test this into the close here again. But we're not able to get through it just yet. So I think the risk here at the moment is that the market is weaker than what we would like it to be, think that it maybe is. And I think part of that in return is just, when we look at the earnings, it's like, okay, cool, Microsoft, it's up, $12 here after hours, which we'll talk about in just a second. That should have a little bit more of a positive impact. I say should just from the market. Microsoft goes up, market should go up kind of thought process, right? But in reality, that's not what's actually happening here. And I think that could be, something that leads into a little bit of a trap tomorrow and turns out to be a little bit more, kind of a difficult trade and catches some people off guard. So with this here, 424.19's traded today once, twice. So far not able to get up through that level here. But we did go ahead and establish a new level down in here at 421.58. This is going to be super, super key for me here, right basically here at 421.58. If we crack beneath that level here, going into tomorrow, we open beneath it, we open above it and trade down through it, whatever that might be, whatever that ends up looking like. If price is under 421.58 tomorrow, then longs are off of the table for me. On the other hand, if we're able to get up through this 424.19 level here, then I think, hey, we're going to be good to the long side, right? That'll finally give us that breakout that, I think we've been looking for here essentially from yesterday into today. We've collected the data. We use today as that data gathering day. We've kind of, sifted through that, looked to see what it looks like, and I think that is now, the consensus from that. So if we stay inside of that 421.58 to 424s and change level, then I think we do nothing, and we look for some individual equity and earnings names in which to play from. Now, with that, we do have a couple of names on the board. First up for me is going to be Microsoft here. So I actually really, really like the Microsoft chart as a whole. The problem becomes here is, much like I just talked about, is, we've got this 346.74 level above, which we've been bumping up into, once, twice here in after hours. And we'll see if we can't get up above that, maybe open above it tomorrow, that'll make me feel a lot better and market can kind of, rally back up. Maybe we open, somewhere up around 424s or something tomorrow, maybe even a little higher. Then, okay, cool, we can step in, we can trade Microsoft on a retest of 346.74s and we can rally it from there. I think the real risk here, though, is in something like a Microsoft where it gets this nice move on earnings. And the only thing in which I can kind of compare it to from today would be something like Coin, right? Where Coin gets this nice gap, runs, and then gives it back. Now, again, it's different from the standpoint of this isn't an earnings catalyst move here out of Coin. But if, just if, Microsoft was to do something very similar to that tomorrow where we failed from any kind of rally either into 346.74s or any kind of rally once we get up over 346.74s and do something like a Coin, then I think that's when we would look to the overall indices here and go, okay, probably time to start looking at a retest of Monday's lows in a number of these indices, right? So again, I'm not hanging everything here on Microsoft, but I think if we started to see just a general individual equity kind of movement in that direction, we start to see some little hints and little takes at that weakness, then I think that will be the move. Now, on the strong side, I like Nvidia here. So in addition to Microsoft being a potential long here, I really like Nvidia. I do currently have a position on in here from these 427.86s down here. We've got a level in place at 437.32s. And then from there, it's basically wide open. There's a couple little stopping points along the way through here. But realistically, if this market does want to make that move higher, you know, NASDAQ wants to kind of rally back up, retest, you know, it's got room up into like 15,000 and some change. The actual level 15,065. So we got like 250 points from here. If all of those things want to kind of come into play, then I think Nvidia is the way in which we look to play that up towards that 461.49. Again, big move in there. A lot of potential to that one. So we'll kind of keep this one on watch and manage the little position that we currently do have, on in there. Now, another name here, Google after hours reported earnings. And you can see, I mean, it's down pretty decent here, 9 points. It was only expected total move on the day for Google was like 6 points here. I really like this chart to the upside, but it does have the room to get this pullback. The key level in here is going to be 129.27. So you can see we've basically come down, front run it, came back down, tested it again here in the after hours. So beneath 129.27 in Google tomorrow, I think we open up the door for potentially 123.85, which is a pretty big move. And I would much prefer to see this with that failure that we were just talking about in something like a Microsoft, because I think it just gives us that much more power to the downside if we can get some of these bigger names to fail, and then obviously get, you know, the overall markets to fail, get the SPY under that level. So at the moment, these are just a couple of things in which I'm watching here, but I did want to give a quick reminder that applications have officially opened for the next mentorship. It is going to be the last one of 2023. We're kicking it off in just 2 weeks. So applications close 1 week from today, which means click the link in the description beneath this video, wherever it's at, if you guys want to get joined up for the mentorship. So anyways, that's what I've got for tonight. I will be at the desk in the morning taking a look at these earnings names and breaking down the rest of this week as always. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos, trying to change up the style and format on them a little bit. If you have any questions, comments, all that stuff, leave them in the description below or hit me back with a response on email. However it is, just reach out, let me know, and we'll go from there. So hope this helps. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.